So, hello everybody. We're back here in the studios of Austin Peay State University. The kind people at WAPX 91.9, Clarksville's 91.9, allowing us to use their studios for the show. So, shout out to them. Shout out to Doc V and the whole crew allowing us to use their facilities. So, we are Real Talk. If you haven't already seen our show or heard our podcast, I'm Aaron King. Alongside me is Emmitt Thomas and Bobby Horton. So, we got a lot to talk about today, fellas. Let's start it off like we always do. Austin Peay.
APSU.
I mean, they played a really good team in Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
They played a really good team. And I don't know if y'all remember this, but I'm going to take a lot of pride in this. I predicted 35-17, Jacksonville State. And I was really close, 34-14. I mean, I'm not saying – I'm just saying. That was a pretty good pick.
Okay, so I took it 28-14.
Yeah.
It was 27-14 for majority of the fourth quarter until we gave up that 87-yard kickoff return.
Yeah. It was a game. It was a really close game. I thought it was going to be, like, all the way to the end until that happened.
Oh, yeah. Dude took off. By the time he got to 25, I just started zooming out.
Yeah,
I was like, goodness, man.
And if y'all don't know, they run the cameras. So
High
if y'all
wide,
watch the
high
game,
and tight.
high and wide, high and tight.
We see all the action live.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I was fooling with Emmitt up there on the side, and we was talking about that. I was like, hey, man, APSU can come back. We got plenty of time on that. Man, when that kickoff.
I just started zooming out, and I just looked at Bobby as I'm zooming out.
He just looked at me,
like,
and when I say I looked the other way, and I was like, I still felt this guy looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, stick a fork in it.
Well, I was on the radio call with Christian Christensen, and shout out to that boy. He's a good one. He's a good guy.
Indeed.
But I was on the radio call with him, and we were getting actually really excited that Austin Peay was starting to make its way back into this game, and again, number 4 in the country, and we're making it a game. And then the kickoff happened, and we kind of
that was a dagger.
Lost our spirit. Yeah. So I don't know. It was a good game. They played a good game. They played about how I thought they would play. And I mean, there's just you had just Jacksonville State's offense was just ridiculously strong, That it almost wasn't even fair, because our defense couldn't stop anything.
Yeah. See, my takeaways from the game, pretty much defensively, we've been tough all year.
Mm-hmm.
We've been shutting down teams, only give up about 100 yards per se on the ground, a little bit over 100 yards averaging. But we gave up 297 on the ground in Jacksonville. So it kind of shows you the Jacksonville State, they still got it.
Yeah.
They still got it for sure.
They do, and they're ranked there for an obvious reason. I mean, they've been ranked top, I believe the stat was like top 10 or top 5 for like 33, 36 straight games.
Definitely.
I mean, they're an amazing team.
OVC powerhouse for sure.
Yeah, and they were the team that I'm pretty sure they were the team that took Auburn
to overtime,
to that double OT.
Yep, I remember that.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Their running back was actually pretty interesting. He was a very downhill runner.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like to make it.
One cut up the field.
Yeah, he would make one cut, and that's all he needed. That's all he needed, and he just throw his shoulders down, and you were about to get run over.
Oh, me and Emmitt seen that firsthand at the goal line.
That goal line touchdown.
And this guy, like,
I thought he was
plowed
down.
over the
team.
He
was tackled.
You know, we sitting here like, oh yeah, good stand, Austin.
Man, next thing I know, he's running through the end zone celebrating.
I'm
like,
sitting here looking at him like, did I miss something?
I'm on camera. He should not be that strong.
That strong, man. That's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. And their quarterback was interesting. They had a dual quarterback scenario.
Mm-hmm.
They had their starting quarterback. It was like a passing style quarterback that could run if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But then you had their backup. And I'm sorry if I'm not saying names, because I'm trying to pull up the roster, because it's been a while since I've looked up their actual names for their players. But I kind of compared, me and Christian kind of compared their backup quarterback to a Lamar Miller-esque player, because he's very long and lean. He's got the width. He's got the arm span. You know, he's got that long stature.
I can see that.
And he's got the wheels to back it up. On top of the wheels and the stature, he's got the gunslinging arm. Like, he was throwing some dimes.
Slinging it. He was slinging it.
He was throwing some absolute dimes. So, Austin Peay, doing what they can, but, at the end when looking at the rushing stats, there wasn't really much to look at. I mean, Javon Craig, 6 rushes for 34 yards. We haven't seen that so far this year
at all
out of Javon Craig. And then you go to our leading rusher, and he's way down at the bottom of the stats with 11 rushes for 54 yards. Kentel Williams, 11 rushes for 54 yards. So our 2 top rushers together,
not even 100
yards.
Right.
And it's crazy
not even 100 yards.
Me and Emmy was talking about this. APSU is a great run team, but, I understand you can't abandon the run completely, but you're going to have to pass. And while we was down, we was playing offense like we wasn't down. Like, we were still running the football.
Exactly.
Like, pass the ball, guys. Come on now.
Similarly to the Tennessee Titans, and we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
When you are a running team that depends on the run, first and second down, you have to get those positive yards. I had an old coach used to say, first down, I need 4. Need 4 if you're running the ball. Need 4. Because third down, you can get in those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s. But when you're getting stuffed, you're getting those 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s.
Penalties,
So,
and then,
and when you can't pass a 3rd and long, it's pretty much impossible to convert. So.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest, the run game is so important for Austin Peay. Coach Satterfield has done a really amazing job with this offense.
Yes.
But at some point, the predictable read option is not going to be the answer
at all
every time you snap the ball. And that's when the versatility of a quarterback is going to have to come into play. And when you don't have that versatility like we didn't see against Jacksonville State, you had Oatsvall, who did all right. I mean, looking at the passing stats so far, he did all right is about the best you can say. And then on top of that, Javon Craig, all right. I mean, Javon Craig 43%, 6 for 16, 7 for 16, 7 out of 16 completed for 53 yards. Passing.
Wasn't their best game offensively
so
at all.
As a total, Javon Craig didn't even, passing and rushing, he didn't even make it over 100 yards. And then you go to Oatsvall, and he was 33%, 4 for 12 with 1 interception. That 1 interception.
And he had a fumble too, did he?
I believe he did have a fumble.
At the end of the game.
Yes. Yeah. But he also had more passing yards than Javon Craig. He had 75, and he had a touchdown pass.
Honestly, Austin Peay really, if we want to be technical about it, Austin Peay kind of struggled in all facets of the game.
They did.
Defensively, I remember at one point, Jacksonville State, 7 for 7 on 3rd down.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot win games when they're just consecutively converting 3rd downs after 3rd down.
And the thing about it, our offense is tired too. Like, the whole team is exhausted, period.
Oh, you can see it. Special teams too. Muff punts, drop kicks,
2 muff punts,
the kickoff return.
You don't know who's going to return the ball. Like, the ball's coming. You guys have perfect spots. You're there at one spot. Then the other return is back. You two run into each other. You don't know who's returning the ball. Like, miscommunications the whole entire game.
Right. And I think it all starts with, and I think we can all agree on this, I think it all starts with the offensive line. Mm-hmm. We have such a veteran group compared to the years past.
Definitely.
And they're big guys too. They're big guys. Mosley, I think, is the guy we were talking about.
Charles.
The right guard. Mm-hmm. Out of UT. I mean, he's 346 pounds, I think was on my spot chart. Massive guy. And then you have the left tackle, I think is Anderton. He was a Vandy transfer. He was a former tight end at Vanderbilt, and he actually bulked up to play the lineman position. So he knows what real D1 football is. So does Mosley. He knows
SEC
what real
football.
D1 football
Right.
is.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see the same play out of those front 5 that I had seen in the last 3 games. So I don't know if that is the direct correlation to how they did. It very well could be. But again, you're not going to go much of anywhere on offense without an offensive line consistently blocking for you. I mean, look at Ezekiel Elliott in the NFL. I think we can all say he wouldn't have done nearly as well if he didn't have the best offensive line in the league.
Of course not.
Good running back. Great running back. And, I mean, has potential to possibly break Emmitt Smith's records.
And he even said that himself. He was like, the difference between college and the pro, in college he said, you know, he was juking, like he was just running in college. Like, snap the ball, give him the ball, just take off running. He said, now in the pros, you have to be patient. And that's the big factor of their line. You know, you have to be patient. Like Le'Veon Bell, that's a prime example.
Right.
He has a great offensive line. So have y'all ever, if you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers play, just
Don't watch
watch
their
how
passing game.
Passing game. Oh, gosh.
We'll get into that.
Goodness. But,
We'll get into that.
yeah. So if you watch him run, you see him kind of, you know, you see a stutter step or a skip because he's waiting for his offensive line to give him an open hole. And then when they spread out, that's when you take it. And that's exactly what, you know, all running backs should watch. But it's different.
I mean, I get what you're saying about the O-line, but it could easily be a testament to Jacksonville State's defensive line. And
Very well could be, yeah. I mean, they're all veteran players.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They've been here before.
So we understand the miscues of last game.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to TSU. We got a conference game at Nissan Stadium against TSU. Think we're gonna take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Confidence.
I mean, TSU, pretty sure they lost to UT Martin.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'd say we took it to them. We won 7-0. That's not really taking it to anybody. But defensively, we took it to UT Martin, given that they were the leading rusher. They had the leading rusher in the OVC and the second leading rusher in the FCS at the time when we played UT Martin, and we held them to 0 points and not even in a good position to make field goals. So I don't see why not. So the only thing that I'm a little bit worried of is are these guys ready to play in Nissan Stadium? I think the stadium has a lot to do with it. And when you play in a big boy stadium, there's probably not going to be a lot of people there. It's not going to be full by any means.
Whoa.
It is TSU's homecoming.
It is
homecoming.
It is TSU's homecoming.
So that means
and there's a lot of alumni.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
You'll be there.
Not
Same
filming.
here.
I'll be on vacation,
but I'll
so
be there.
If you think about it, if you think about it, there's people coming all over the state just for Tennessee State homecoming.
That's true. And again, I think that plays into, do you think these guys are ready to play in front of, they've had crowds of, 8,000, 8,100 against Moorhead, and then at UT Martin it was 8,800, and now they could potentially have up to like 20, 30,000.
But I want you to think about it. This is a big test for Austin Peay because, Tennessee State University is in Nashville. We in Clarksville. So this is the river right here. This is across of the river. This is a rivalry that, that's going to really be like, hey, who runs Tennessee or who runs,
It's on the FCS level for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who runs this? Who's hungry for it? So it's going to be a battle.
And, actually last week, the game after or a few days after the Governors defeated UT Martin, they had, I don't know if y'all saw this, they had a bunch of votes to get into the top 25. They had, in the media poll, they had 46 votes to get into the top 25. And they had 11 votes in the coaches poll to get into the top 25. Isn't that crazy to think about? Austin Peay State University getting votes to get into the top 25.
The Jacksonville game would have took us over the top. Had we been able to steal that one?
I guarantee you we would have been ranked 14th. 14th is what I would have guessed if we would have beat Jacksonville State.
Definitely. But with this game, I think we can get it. But psychologically, against TSU, they're going to have to be ready for it because TSU's going to come out and play.
Yeah,
definitely.
Of course.
Everyone's excited about TSU football. They've competed well this season, but if APSU cleans up those miscues and can pass the ball,
we'll be fine.
And
both teams coming off of losses. So
yeah.
Both of them are hungry.
Let's see who bounces back.
TSU didn't lose. TSU beat EKU.
Yeah, they did
beat. I apologize.
Yeah. They beat EKU.
I agreed with you, but I really
Let me get my
agree
facts
with you.
right. Let me get the correct facts right. I apologize. I'm going to look at the camera. I apologize.
because I gotta get my player of the week is from TSU.
Okay.
So,
that's right. So let's go into this. I know Emmitt, we're already 15 minutes into talking about Austin Peay, and I think we can do it on the road in the Big Boy Stadium.
Big Boy.
Big Boy Stadium, not on turf. We're on real grass.
The real thing.
Real grass.
So what? I know, Emmitt, you love predictions.
Oh, definitely.
You love predictions.
Predictions what makes this fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of predictions, I hope both of these guys chips. I'm kind of salty about
we'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh,
Yum, yum.
Yum, yum. So, prediction then,
All right.
Emmitt.
I say
TSU, APSU.
I say that because of how emotional the loss was last year to TSU, you don't forget that kind of stuff as a player. The guys are going to come out hungry, and they're going to play from first quarter to the end of the fourth.
Now that was the game that went down to the very last
2-point
3
conversion.
seconds.
2-point conversion.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, and they threw a touchdown
Fade
over
route.
the top
Fade route.
route to their top guy, who hadn't been really targeted all game.
Mm-hmm.
All game. And I think I was spotting for that game. He hadn't been targeted all game. And then in one play, the playmaker comes out of nowhere and wins the game. Heartbreaking. Like you said.
Yeah, you don't forget that.
You don't.
They're
that's
itching.
engraved.
Yeah,
in the
they're
back of
itching.
their
They're
head.
itching to get
Still
to.
having nightmares.
They
about
want
it,
to
man.
spoil TSU's homecoming. So
Surprise.
honestly, it's going to be a good one though. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a low-scoring game or a defensive game.
Okay.
I think both teams are going to score. So I go 35-28, Austin Peay.
Whoa.
Wow. That's a high score, though.
Give
That's
me.
a little bit of a high score, 35-28.
I have a prediction. I like my prediction.
What's your prediction? Go for it.
21-14.
21-14.
AP.
I'm going to say it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. I'm going to say, because TSU, I believe, was ranked 3rd in a preseason poll in the OVC. So they're not a slouch by any means.
At all.
Mm-mm.
And Austin Peay's still on the come-up. They're still working out some kinks. I think it's going to be closer. I think Austin Peay takes it, but it's going to be 24-21.
Oh, excuse. Did I say I didn't think it would be a high-scoring game?
Yeah.
I meant to say low-scoring.
You said you said it wouldn't be a high-scoring game, but it wouldn't be a defensive game either.
Yeah. I meant to correction on that, but yeah, 35-28.
Okay.
AP.
Okay. I'm still going to stick rock solid to 24-21.
Same score.
24-21. So either way, we all think Austin Peay's going to take it. Boys, go take it to them. We all believe in you.
Go Govs.
Yeah, go Govs. We believe in y'all. Some of us will be there. So should be fun. That'll be a good game.
College Performer of the Week.
So yeah, we're going to do kind of a new segment here on Real Talk. And I got to give credit where it's due. This is Emmitt's idea. So we're going to try it out. If it doesn't work and we get some bad feedback on it, you know what? We'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Get
we're
rid
just
of
going
it.
to try it
No
out.
problem.
If you like it, cool. So we're just going to go straight into College Performer of the Week. And that's an interesting topic because you can look at the big guys, the big names, like the Penn State running back who's definitely got his own Heisman bid.
Indeed.
You can look at, Lamar Jackson, who was last year's Heisman winner, and he's still doing pretty well at Louisville. Or you can look at somebody that, some people kind of miss.
Definitely.
So since it's your idea, Emmitt, start off with you. Who's your college football performer of the week this week?
Since I love, the little guys that people overlook, like Kareem Hunt, who
Yeah.
I knew about coming out of college. Another little guy is he's TSU. He's a freshman, actually. TSU freshman. He's a DB. Vincent Sellers against EKU. He had 2 pick sixes. Which
Wait. So you're going to go with the college performer of the week, a TSU player,
My man's
right
a
before Austin Peay plays
traitor.
TSU.
I'm not a traitor.
I'm playing. I'm kidding with you,
Give
bro.
credit when it's due.
I don't know.
But no, seriously.
Nah, that is
I
a
was,
good one.
I
Though.
was
2
looking,
pick sixes.
yeah, 2
People
pick
don't do
sixes.
that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. He tied
Yeah.
the record
That's
in
a
the FCS.
Madden type of.
That's
that's
a Madden
Madden.
stat.
And as a
for you.
freshman,
Yeah.
he jumped off the page
Is
to
he a
me.
true freshman or a red shirt?
I think he's true freshman.
True
man.
freshman?
True
Says-
freshman.
True
I think
freshman coming in and making gains
Listen,
already.
AP,
So-
watch out.
So when that jumped off the page, I was on
Yeah.
it because I wanted to get an FCS guy. And when I see that, I'm like, okay. And then I looked at the team and said TSU. I was like, oh.
Ooh.
But he's a freshman, and he had 2 pick sixes
I agree.
against EKU, which is the conference game. So I had to go with it. Vincent Sellers, he's a baller.
Well, there you go. Emmitt Thomas. There it is.
With
All right, Bobby.
I'm skipping to the Big Ten, and it's not necessarily just a player. You know, I am an Ohio State fan,
Oh, gosh.
but I'm going with Ohio State, even though they didn't play anybody high. They played Maryland, and I'm going to their defense because total offense for Maryland was 66 yards.
Oh, wow.
66
It's
yards.
disrespectful.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's
I'm sorry, this is disrespectful.
I can't
66 yards.
Yeah,
That's
66
so
yards. So I had to take them. That's the first thing I noticed. It was just like, this ain't real. So
you did the entire Ohio State defense.
Yeah.
Fair
It's
enough.
going to be a horrible day in the Maryland film room today.
and they probably sitting there
Goodness.
like,
Oh, goodness.
Guys,
66 yards.
we messed up today.
Aaron, go ahead. I can't think about that. 66
Oh, man.
yards.
Well, I'm going to do something, stick with somebody that really popped out to me. And after last year with at Michigan, you had Jabril Peppers,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
who was safety, linebacker, defensive end, running back, wide receiver. He did everything.
Everything.
Well, this guy did it again. And this was Iowa State's big win over Oklahoma. And I hope you all watched the game. I didn't watch enough of it. I wish I did. I think I was working. But Iowa State beat Oklahoma, and the big reason is Joel Lanning. He played on the offense, defense, and special teams during this game. I mean, complete Iron Man. He had completed 2 for 3 passes, 2 out of 3 passes. Not much, 25 yards. He carried the ball 9 times for 35 yards. Again, nothing
Not
big.
much.
Nothing big. He also threw, the ESPN saying right here, he threw a key block that allowed David Montgomery to spring loose for a 46-yard reception off a screenplay. So he's making blocks downfield. He knows what he's doing there.
My kind of guy.
And I think he's also he's a defensive player, so he sacked Baker Mayfield once or twice. He recovered a fumble on defense. He led the team. I believe he led the team in tackles that day as well. Like
career day.
career day. And people are already making comparisons from him to Jabril Peppers last year.
I like it.
So that's my guy. That has
like
to be my guy.
Yeah, I
Shout
like
out
it.
to
I
you,
like
my
it.
brother.
Has to be.
I
I
like
mean,
it.
you
Did your
played
homework. I like
exceptionally
that.
well. Matt Castle wishes he threw 2 for 3. You know,
My heart. My heart.
which leads us into our next topic:
Too
NFL.
Soon. Too soon.
NFL.
Too soon.
Watching the Tennessee Titans play football without Marcus Mariota and having Matt Castle at quarterback has been one of the most excruciatingly exhausting games I've ever watched.
And boys, let's just say Matt Castle gets injured.
It's more.
I'm gonna
stressed
cry.
out.
Who did the Titans?
John Robinson signed Colin Kaepernick, quit playing around. I'm getting upset.
Who did the Titans pick up just a few days ago?
Brandon Whedon.
Whedon.
I'd rather us sign Aaron than Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon.
He doesn't have a career win as a starter.
Oh, speaking of
Not
wins,
one.
speaking
And
of
he's double-digit
wins,
losses.
Without Marcus Mariota, we are 1-5 when he doesn't play. 1-5.
Now, take that with a. I mean, he's hamstring, obviously. That's a hard injury to come back from immediately. Corey Davis.
Hey, he's coming along. He's coming along. He's coming still.
So,
I'm still
what
holding
you
on
say?
to.
Relax.
Relax.
Still holding on to Corey, man. So
I think I spelled relax wrong, actually.
I didn't peep it.
it's all good,
Whatever.
bro.
What
Hey,
did you
R-E.
spell?
I don't know. Real axe, not relax.
Okay.
Whatever.
it's all good.
Anyway,
We just.
Just gonna keep
but-
it going.
but good lord, I mean, 16-10.
This is disgusting to watch,
16 to
man.
10. And
I'm
Matt
stressed out
Castle,
about that
look, Matt
in
Castle was just
school.
noodle arming half of these passes.
Dude, he threw a wobbler to Delaney Walker that literally made me cut off my TV. I cut off my TV and went and got a snack.
You want to know what I actually did?
Like,
I cut off my TV and went and played football for real.
I mean, Matt Castle, he threw for 141. Granted, the 59-yard touchdown to Delaney did get called back on a baloney call.
Super
So,
nah.
you know, that was you know, frustrating. But Matt Castle just, without Mariota, the Titans are not going anywhere if we don't have Mariota.
Which is good, because then that means we'll give him a big paycheck, and he'll probably want to stay. So
Definitely.
that's good. Hopefully we keep him. Mariota, please, dear God,
come back.
stay.
Play
Stay with us.
Baby, come
Oh,
Don't ever leave.
He's going to stay.
Don't ever leave.
It's just a matter of staying healthy. That's what I need him to
gosh.
do. Stay healthy.
Hey, he can't help it when he's getting destroyed.
That is true. He
You
was
know,
running
he
for his
broke
life
leg
against
last
Houston.
year.
Yeah, it's not his fault. It's not your fault,
That's
Marcus.
been the problem
Yeah,
with
it's not his
Titans
fault.
quarterbacks, period.
It's not
We
your fault,
can't-
Marcus.
We can't keep a good quarterback healthy because
And you
they're
think we
running
have
for their life. We had Jake Locker. Okay, Jake Locker did get hurt. Don't get me wrong,
Broke
but
his
Jake
thumb, didn't
Collar
he?
wasn't a bad quarterback. If you thought about it,
He was all right.
he wasn't bad though. He wasn't. You can't just throw him on the
I
bus like,
compare
he's
Locker to
sorry.
Blake Bortles.
What?
Seriously.
What?
I'm serious.
Jake Locker to Blake Bortles. Explain that one.
Yeah.
No,
please.
you said Jake Locker wasn't. You know how we say Blake Bortles is kind of.
Blake Bortles.
Well, okay, I could kind of see it. I
I'm
mean,
not-
they're
yeah, I'm
both
not- I'm not
they're both underdog quarterbacks wherever they
Yeah.
go, and Jake Locker had some success.
Central Florida, Washington. It's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, not not Blake Bortles' success so far. I mean, Blake Bortles hadn't even been. You hear Blake Bortles and you know.
That's my reaction to Jake
seriously,
Locker. I'm just
seriously.
like Jake Locker.
So hold on. How do you feel about Matt Menberger? Goodness, I can't even say the guy's name.
Zach
I
Mettenberger
apologize.
held the ball for so long.
I'm
not going to take the
he was
time
a
out of
gun-
my day to
but
discuss Zach Mettenberger.
He was a gunslinger.
I'm not going to do it.
No, he had an arm.
I
He had an
refuse-
arm,
Bobby,
but his quarterback
I refuse
IQ
to
was
talk
terrible.
about Zach Mettenberger.
Oh my!
Hey, I have his rookie card.
Get him out of here, Coach. Give him a Gatorade. He
But-
has to go.
Tennessee
Now.
Titans will be all right. Mariota come back will be good. I'm not panicking or nothing, but watching the game without Mariota is terrible. And with Houston losing J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, the division is
Oh, that's
still
huge.
up for grabs.
That's
'cause
But
Huge.
the only thing we really got to worry about is Jacksonville.
who we already have a division win over.
Yeah, so we have that tiebreaker, and we slaughtered them.
Yeah, 36 points in the second
But
half.
this is before our quarterback was gone. I mean, this is when
He'll
we
be
were-
back
True,
by
he'll be
the
back.
time
When-
we play
when do
Jacksonville.
When do we
again.
play Jacksonville next?
It'll be a while from now
Like
because
a while.
these are two. We'll have the Colts this week, so yeah, we won't have another division game for a little minute.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacksonville, I'm not really. They have a good defense, but we can run the ball.
So that was heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. At least the Volunteers couldn't let me down in the same week the Titans let me down this week. So
Lost to the
that's a
Dolphins.
plus. So we made any other games that kind of stood out to y'all?
Oh, y'all chips.
Giants Chargers. Hello.
Giants are winless.
Hello.
Still,
Hello. 0-5.
Is this the end of Eli?
it might
His
be.
era?
Man. It might be. Might be.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell
Falls
out, Brandon
and
Marshall.
Brandon.
Sterling
out.
is hurt too.
Did I not say
Sterling
it, though,
Shepard's
that,
hurt too.
But both
Eli
of-
Manning was the Jeff Fisher of
You
NFL
did. You
quarterbacks.
did say that.
You did.
Tell
You
me,
did say
I mean,
that.
he can be a good quarterback, just like Jeff Fisher can be a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
But Eli has the most picks out of any starting quarterback, consistently
lost
starting
both
quarterback
of
in the
your
league,
starting
just like Jeff Fisher had the
receivers.
most losses of any head coach in the
What
league.
do you think it is though? Because Eli's always been a quarterback that sneaks in the playoffs and then just runs the table and wins the Super Bowl and beats Brady. I
couldn't tell you.
we've lived to see glimpses of his greatness.
I really
but
couldn't
now
tell you because-
we look back and like, is this the same guy?
I think he has a more talented team overall team
That's what I'm saying.
than he did when he beat the Patriots.
Dave Tyree is not even in the league anymore.
So why? Well, get rid of David Tyree, okay, and replace him with Odell Beckham.
That's what I'm saying.
Who would you rather have?
That's what I'm saying.
Odell Beckham, to be honest with you.
Brandon Marshall and Plexico Burris.
I mean, come on, man.
These
How
guys
do you lose with this squad?
Both of them are out for the season with broken ankles.
Just crazy.
The same game though.
They're going to be 0-16.
Possibly.
With the way this is going.
At this point, I just tank it.
Might as well.
Just tank it.
And
Get the
then
number one
Take
pick.
it and get a QB.
But hold on.
Yep, just tank it.
Then the famous quote unquote "Hey big head" text came from Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
And also Terrell Owens both mentioned the New York Giants on Twitter.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be interesting. But
Ocho Cinco.
I think Ocho could possibly still have it, but
Terrell?
Terrell?
I don't know about
Sit
that.
down, Terrell.
Yeah.
Sit down, Terrell.
Yeah.
What about a little bit more relevant player, Calvin?
Megatron's not coming out of nowhere.
Megatron wouldn't come to the Giants.
No,
He'd go to the
Megatron
Patriots.
will want the
Of course
Raiders.
He'd go to the Patriots.
He'd go to the Patriots. He wouldn't go
Of course
to the
he'd go to the
Giants.
Patriots. Just like Adrian
AP.
Peterson said he'd love to go to the Patriots.
Well, he's with the Cardinals now, so
Well,
that
yeah,
might
that's another big move.
That might be a good. That might.
The funniest thing about it, Chris Johnson was like, he tweeted, was like, AP needs more carry. They, woo, hello, you
He
lost
said-
your job.
yeah,
Now
he
AP
said-
has your job.
Chris Johnson tweeted out that Adrian Peterson needed more carries, and
Yeah.
soon after that, they cut Chris
They cut
Johnson,
Chris
and
Johnson.
put Adrian Peterson
Yeah.
at
That's
the,
so
at the running back
disrespectful.
Yeah.
position at Arizona.
That's like in the NBA, Dwight Howard was laughing at the trade rumors, and then he discovered he got traded. He didn't even know. He figured that out on Twitter.
That's brutal.
Oh,
That's brutal.
Guys, come on.
The
man.
Cardinals brass was like, oh, okay, AP needs more carries. All right. Oh, bye, Chris.
I'm surprised
Come here,
AP
Adrian.
didn't go to the Giants, because Giants needed a running back. But
They have Shane. That's the best they got. Is what
Shane
Vereen.
Vereen. Yep.
That's not much.
Dallas, Green Bay. That's the next on the agenda.
We could look at Dallas, Green Bay.
Simply because I know y'all want to talk about these chips that
Hold on, let me. I gotta get my binder out because actually,
This man,
I literally can't remember who I picked. To be honest with you,
I'm pretty sure both of y'all picked Green Bay.
I picked Green Bay.
and are you
I know-
sure we bet the chips on this game, or was it the overall outcome?
Oh, it was this game. It wasn't the overall outcome.
Okay.
For me, you might have been confused at the time because I didn't really make it clear.
Was that supposed to mean Emmitt?
Awkward moment of silence.
Yay!
Want me to take this headset off, bro? No, I'm just playing.
I
But
said you might have been confused.
might have been. Just
Okay. Here's my official sheet.
handy dandy sheet.
Uh,
We both are 5-8 anyway, so
Yeah, I picked the Packers.
exactly.
5-8,
So that's what it
7-6.
was on. That's what it was on because both of y'all picked the same team, and I
Yeah.
wanted to bet something. So
Yeah.
I got hot fries for you and Funyuns for Aaron.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
fair enough. So we
Aaron Rodgers had a field day. He's having fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers always looks good.
Oh
Yeah.
Best to me, best quarterback in the league.
Yep, he's number one.
You look at accomplishments, Tom Brady.
Top
Sure.
top 3 quarterbacks.
Aaron Rodgers would have won 7 Super Bowls under Belichick.
Who would y'all feel y'all top 3 quarterbacks right now?
Rodgers, Brady, and Cam. No, wait.
Hold on.
Alex Smith. This season.
Hold on.
This season.
I will put Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
This season.
Drew
We talking
Brees
about
is a
the-
great
We're talking about
size
this
quarterback.
season.
He's consistently 5,000-yard club every year.
That's
Drew
true.
Brees.
But this
That's a good
Feel the breeze.
But now he doesn't have a run game.
this season.
Adrian
talking
Peterson
about-
wasn't even it.
If we're talking about this
If you
season,
think about it-
I say Rodgers,
Alvin
Brady,
Kamara, UT
and
Ball,
I
you
go.
better step up.
I go Rodgers, Brady, and Alex Smith this season.
Okay,
right
yeah,
now.
Alex
Rodgers,
Smith. been
Brady,
do-
Alex
Alex
Smith.
Smith.
Alex
That's a
Smith
good
is
one.
playing
I'm
lights
calling
out.
it Alex
That's a
Smith
good one.
MVP.
Alex Smith also has a stout team around him.
Definitely. Travis Kelce,
Travis
Tyreek
Kelce,
Hill, Kareem Hunt
Hey,
is
Maclin.
literally
Is
another.
Maclin still there?
He's literally another
No,
Adrian.
he's
Mack.
gone.
No, he
He's
left.
with the
He left.
Ravens.
That's right. He left. So he's got the team around him. He's got the offense
He's
around
winning
him.
MVP this year.
That's true.
I'm
He
going
could.
for MVP.
He very well could. He very well could.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say Cam, though, because I
Cam's
think he
playing
has
lights
less
out,
to
too.
work with.
True.
I think he has less to work with. And when you look at the MVP, now Matt Ryan, obviously he had Julio Jones. He had Devonta Freeman.
Coleman.
He
To be
had
honest,
he
I
had
was
Gabriel.
surprised that he won the MVP. You know,
You're surprised?
I was surprised because coming up, I never really just watched the Falcons until
Right.
like I sat down and watched. It's like, you know what, Matty Ice is actually.
There's a reason they call him Matty
Yeah,
Ice.
and I was
You know,
like,
ice in his
Matty
veins.
Ice is actually taking over. So I was like, okay, I see he's MVP. He deserved it.
Yeah. So, I guess Alex Smith would be a good one.
The way he's
Without
playing
Alex
now?
Smith, here's the question: without Alex Smith,
Uh-huh.
do the Chiefs go on this run?
It's possible.
Yeah.
That's the
Patrick
question.
Mahomes is their backup.
Because that's the real question behind the MVP. Who is the most valuable player to this team? Without this player, does that team still succeed? Without
See-
Alex Smith, do the Chiefs still succeed?
See, with that, but see, when you say that, I kind of scratch my head because if that was the case last season, David Johnson should have won MVP.
Okay.
Think about it.
He's
Fair
right.
enough.
He's
If you
right
take
about
David
that.
Johnson off the Cardinals
Yeah.
we're going
That
nowhere
man is a
fast.
You take Matt
monster.
Ryan off the Falcons, do the Falcons make the Super Bowl?
No.
They might not make the Super Bowl, but when you have Julio Jones
Who's
in
that
that kind of
backup?
running game,
Yeah,
Ain't it
the
Matt
good
Swab?
question.
Ain't it
Good
Matt Swab?
Good question. Who is
Matt
the
Swab?
Falcons backup?
Dude, Texans' old starting quarterback, Matt Swab?
Schwab.
I'm sorry. Matt.
he might as well be called Matt Swab.
Yeah, that's their backup. I remember him. No, he's terrible.
Do they even win a playoff game?
I don't know. I just my
Would
personal
they
opinion.
even make the playoffs?
My personal opinion is last year David Johnson. If we're going off the most crucial to his team, I just had to go
Also,
with David.
the Arizona Cardinals also didn't succeed at all,
No.
right? So like normally MVP
and look at his O line. Look at the O line he had.
Yeah, look at the. I mean,
With the amount of
MVP
yards.
normally
Dude.
goes to a
Winning
player
team,
on a
of
team
course.
that did work
Of
that year.
course.
Because obviously, David did everything he could,
Everything with the terrible O line.
but his stats probably weren't there enough to say without him they would have done better because they didn't do well in the first place. So, I mean, I could see that from a sense of, yeah, David Johnson is probably arguably one of the best running backs in the game right now when he's not hurt. He always seems to be hurt somehow,
He's taking a lot of hits.
taking a lot of hits.
But he breaks the most tackles though. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, still a solid running back. I would want him on my team
definitely.
for sure. I mean, he's a young guy.
Northern Iowa.
You know, he
product.
knows what he's doing. He knows. We were talking about patience behind the O line. He's
Yeah.
patient behind the O line
and has great hands out of the
and has great
backfield,
hands. He can
you know.
catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd want him on my team for sure.
Okay.
Next game, what do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about
This is topping these performers. okay.
Jerry Jones. How do you guys feel about him?
Oh.
I'll let y'all run on this one for a while.
Oh!
I'm just gonna step.
Like, how do you feel
Hey,
about
shake
him?
my hand. I forgot about that. Okay.
How you feel about him? You know, okay, let's rewind time. So, my guys, you know, what was the following week? He took a knee in front of everybody.
Mm.
Everybody witnessed that, correct?
Here's once again, it's similar to the Ray Lewis thing that I spoke about in
Okay.
the earlier podcast. NFL players did not kneel because of why Kaepernick kneeled.
Mhm.
The only reason NFL players and owners were kneeling was because Trump came for the NFL. It has nothing to do about the injustices and,
And
all that stuff.
I think that one's interesting because yes, he did kneel. That is correct. That's a true
And he was
statement.
just showing solidarity with his players.
But he also, like Emmitt's saying, he also kneeled for a different reason.
totally different
and-
reason. It's not about
He did it for himself, I believe.
he
Very well
came, he
could.
came for the owners.
Very well
Trump
could.
came for the owners and the league, so they took a stand.
But I don't understand is you take a kneel and then all of a sudden, if your players take a kneel, that's like the following week, if they take a kneel and disrespect the flag, they're not playing. So
Well, I think he's talking about the timing of the kneel, and I say that to say
there's
like
some players that don't even come. Some teams that don't even come out.
right, and
national
that's
anthem.
that is disrespect. And did you hear about
It is
Villanueva?
disrespectful, though.
How he
Yeah.
had to come out and apologize for him coming out of the locker room to stand and hold his heart for the national anthem and then go back.
Yeah.
He said, this is not a direct quote by any means, but he said something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, I've made a fool out of Coach Mike Tomlin. I've made a fool out of my team. I've made a fool out of my organization. I am sorry." What? No, you didn't. You did the right thing. I mean, your whole team's in the locker room. Your whole team's in the locker room.
I don't get it. Like, with this whole kneeling thing, the NFL has made this such a circus. Like, Kaepernick kneeled. We understood why. Some people took everyone knew why Kaepernick kneeled. For one, kneeling isn't disrespectful. It's actually showing the sign of respect. Because at first he was sitting down.
Right.
He moved to kneeling. Kneeling in cultures means it's a sign of respect.
Let's make that very clear. Like you're saying, injured player on the field. What do all the players do?
Kneel. It's a sign of respect.
First thing they
do.
So
this disrespect thing can go out the window.
There's completely out the window.
There's some depictions of a silhouette of a soldier standing or by a cross of a fallen comrade. And what does he do? Kneeling.
Kneeling is a sign of respect.
It's again, but also it could be not what you say, but how you say it. And maybe in the sense of what he was saying, some people could depict it as being disrespectful. So again, it's just perceptive. How do you look at it? It's very.
I understand. He was at the same time. Kaepernick was using his platform for people who don't have one.
Right.
I mean, there's people in my city, Memphis, and the hood who go through this stuff every day who we would not hear about. So a guy like Kaepernick used his platform to kind of protest, which athletes have been doing since the beginning of the time. Muhammad Ali, Marshawn Lynch has been. This isn't nothing. This isn't nothing new. But when the media gets a hold of it, of course, and you start dealing with the money and the supporters of the NFL.
And did I not say this the previous time we was talking? I was like, they just want a voice to be said. Because if you come to Marshawn Lynch is just gonna give you legit small talk. Like
he's just gonna look at you and go, "Yeah,
I love Marshawn Lynch."
Yeah, that's why. Now you have somebody that actually talk. They're going to talk.
But with the whole Jerry Jones thing, the whole Ray Lewis, because Ray Lewis said he wouldn't. I lost a whole bunch of respect for Ray Lewis.
He was on both knees.
He was on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp, and he told Shannon that he would never disrespect the flag by kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
Said that. After Trump said what he said about the NFL, you see Ray Lewis on both knees. So we're like, me being an African-American male, I'm looking at this like, bro, you called Kaepernick out and said that he was being so disrespectful and this and that for talking about injustice, but you would kneel for the NFL and not for your people. So I lost a lot of respect for him. But as far as this Jerry Jones situation, honestly, he's the owner. It's a lot of stuff that ties into this. It is what it is. But I feel like you can't tell players.
The Titans
you can't
even
make
rejected Colin Kaepernick to work out for him, like for the Titans. Like they didn't even give my man a chance. They just denied him. So it's just like I understand you don't want the media attention that will come to Tennessee because he's signed to a team.
Kaepernick had a 90.7 passer rating.
So
with a terrible Chip Kelly was one of the worst offensive coaches to ever come into the NFL.
And now you have him, like if you add him to the Titans, despite all the other stuff that happened, you add him to the Titans offense, which he runs similar stuff to Mariota. He can be good with it, man. Give him a coach, man. Give him a chance. It's football.
Think about the work that Kaepernick did when Harbaugh was there with Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker and Frank Gore. It's a similar setup. The Titans have DeMarco, Derrick Henry, a bunch of receivers. They have speed. We have two dominant tight ends in Delaney. He could easily do work with Mariota out. So it's just a matter of people just,
It's just a matter of if you want to win, you have to do whatever it takes to win.
Teams are more concerned with the backlash than they are winning. That's just the reality.
So I want to touch on two things.
If you win a Super Bowl, that shouldn't even matter, dude.
Give Aaron the floor.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you guys are running with this. I'm really glad.
I apologize.
No, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. I do want to touch on two things. Mm-hmm. One, about the Jerry Jones thing. I want to throw my 2 cents in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if we all remember 4th of July or Veterans Day, not 4th of July. Football wasn't around. Veterans Day came around, and he quoted, or he didn't quote, but his quote was to a reporter, if anybody takes it, this was in the heat of Kaepernick, right when it was starting to all go down. If anybody is kneeling during national anthem, or anything like that, staff, football player, or coach, you will not play the game, and you will be immediately let go from the team. Okay.
You just need to
So
sell the whole team.
then let's go
Don't believe
down
that.
the road. Then go down the road. Now you have him taking a knee, but I believe that was prior to the national anthem, and then they all stood up for the national anthem. Was it?
Yeah, it was.
So, in a sense, he made sure that they stood up, like he said, stood up for the national anthem, but he also took a knee in spite of President Trump.
So it's like, why take a knee though?
Yeah.
At that point, it's like
What's your point?
What's your purpose?
He's kind of wanting the best of both worlds.
You can't. Which you can't. You can't.
I know that's really tough.
Yeah.
That's
how do
really
you,
tough, especially especially with how the media is taking everything and running with it like a scalded dog.
Exactly.
It's absolutely crazy. Now, let's go to Kaepernick, because we only have about 14 minutes left.
It's all good.
So let's go to Kaepernick.
Just got predictions up
This
next.
is why I think he didn't get picked up by the Titans. I think his budget's too big.
I thought about that too.
I think his
But
budget's too
do
big.
you think he would take a pay cut at this point?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I believe
I don't
he
think
will
so
because he
I
said
think
he
he
just want to play
believes,
football.
and I believe he's a starting quarterback.
He is a starting
He is,
quarterback.
and he deserves
to get paid like one.
to get paid like one. And I don't think he would take a salary cut to play behind Marcus Mariota.
I wouldn't. If
I don't
was
think he
him,
would,
actually.
and so that's why I think we signed Brandon Weeden
Because it was cheap.
He'll take whatever you give him
It was
at this
cheap.
point. He's happy to put on a uniform and sit on a bench at this point. And seriously,
He is.
He's
He
happy.
is.
He's happy to get a 6-figure paycheck,
That's
sit
a
on
good
the bench,
point. That
and
is a good
practice
point.
for
We're losing,
4 or 5
guys. What you
hours a
smiling
day.
about? I'm just on the
That
team.
is a good point.
I'm just happy to be here.
Because, you know, he Kaepernick did work out for Seattle a while, like before the season, but they never signed him. And I think that could have been a part of the reason, money. It's like, who's going to pay you
Right.
this kind of money to be behind? Because we still got to pay Mariota, don't we?
Yeah.
So
I think he's getting close to his extent. Like,
yeah, he's going to have to get
needing an
paid
extension.
soon.
Yeah,
So
a big boy contract.
I can understand the. I can agree with
Okay,
that. I can agree with
that's
that.
the difference.
With the
now.
Titans.
The contract.
You see what I mean?
I
contract
can
is-
agree with that.
But like they
He's probably wanting starting pay.
I wish they would have gave us more information about it.
At
'cause
least
they
let the
just
guy
said-
work out, because it's
Yeah,
like at
at
that
least
point you
let
don't
him
even
work
know if
out.
he's willing to. It was like my problem was no negotiation.
Not
And
at all.
also, in the situation, if Mariota would have broken his leg and been out for the season, then I
That's
could
what I
have
was
seen a
thinking about, too,
Kaepernick
because
walk
it's-
in.
a hamstring
because
is
now we have a
short-term.
starting quarterback.
Mhm.
Right.
Heaven forbid we go an entire season with the quarterback duo of Matt Castle and Brandon Weeden.
Oh, I wouldn't watch a game.
Heaven forbid.
I wouldn't watch a
That's
game.
sent
Oh
chills
my
through
God.
my
I
body,
would-
man.
But if
Yeah.
Mariota was out for the season, then Titans could think, okay, we have a good team.
We got to
assembled this team around Mariota.
Mhm.
Kaepernick is basically a
Another Mariota, right?
So why not just give him a 1-year deal with worth a little bit of money?
That's like Seattle. They have Russell Wilson, but they have a black backup similar to him, so they run the same type of offense.
Yeah. So I think the situation has a lot
Yeah,
to do with it.
definitely,
They know
definitely.
Mariota's going to come back. He's going to come back firing.
Mhm.
So they don't need to sign
yeah.
somebody as a backup that's not going to play, especially if they're going to put the starting price on him.
Whenever Mariota comes back, he's gonna have the best game of his season.
Let's hope so.
I'm
Let's
pretty
hope
sure.
so. But what we do know is he's not going to play against the Colts.
You don't think
What
so?
we do know,
It said 2 to 6 weeks.
Well,
And
Malarkey
we're just past week 1.
Malarkey disputed that. He said we could see Mariota. It was 2 to 4 on NFL Network.
4.
It was 2 to 4, and in Malarkey's presser, he said that you can either listen to NFL Network or you can listen to me. He said Marcus is coming along. He said Corey Davis is coming along great, and we could very much so see him
I'm
this
so
week
worried
against the
about Corey.
Colts.
a quarterback that don't need
So
to
worried
play.
Aaron,
about Corey.
calm down, bro.
I'm
Corey
just
is gonna be.
saying,
He's gonna
man,
be all
he's
right.
missed so many games.
And if he doesn't play that much this season, you have a whole season to chill out on that
Over a
hamstring.
hammy.
It's a hammy, bro. It's
Over
not
a
torn.
hammy.
It's strained. It's a bad strain.
that's
He'll be
a
all
bad
right.
strain.
Hey, sometimes, man, when you pull that hammy, it doesn't want to come back.
For that hammy, it's a
That
But-
man's
hammy.
fighting. That man's
Okay.
fighting him.
So
Yeah, let's move on. We've talked about that enough. We got about 10 minutes before we need to
Let's-
wrap this
let's-
up. Let's go into
I was
real
about to
quick.
say-
real
NFL
quick,
performer of the week?
NFL performers of the week. I'm going to start off with kudos to AFC South Jacksonville's defense.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
heck of a game, picking off Ben Roethlisberger 5 times and returning him returning 2 of those for pick sixes.
He's on my fantasy team. He got me 2
Ben
points.
Roethlisberger. I think you're going to be done. I think you're going to be done in the next year or 2. I think he's getting old. So Emmitt.
I got NFL Performer of the Week would be Cam Newton.
Okay.
365 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, 10.7 yards per attempt.
Okay, Bobby.
Mine's is Cam Newton too. So
Hey,
That's
it's all
okay.
good.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
That's okay.
yeah,
That's
Cam
okay.
Newton, man, he did his thing. I believe this is the Super Bowl Cam that we're receiving right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Cam is doing his thing and he's having fun. You know, it's Cam. You know, you can't.
He's back.
Yeah,
I like
back.
how he just knocked off the Patriots, knocks off the Lions. After the whole press conference thing, he just playing ball. I like it.
Yeah,
Not,
and look who
not a
he's
lot of
working
talk.
with.
Not a lot of talk
just ball.
from that end. And I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait till all the talk around the league is done. I'm kind of tired of the drama. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, me too.
Quick little statement. I'm tired of drama.
Predictions.
I don't want to go on to ESPN
Predictions.
and hear politics.
All right, here, jot your predictions down, fellas.
All right, so I have a list of all the teams right here. I made it all organized and neat this time because I'm
my
prepared.
predictions.
I'm prepared.
Because I was 5-8 last week.
I'm
Aaron was 5-8. Bobby 6-7.
5-8.
That's terrible. I gotta bounce back.
Are we doing it overall, or are we just doing it by week?
We can do it by week, and then
Yeah, we can do it by week.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it by week.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna start with Eagles Panthers.
Panthers.
Cam and Wentz.
Cam.
Panthers.
Panthers. I'm going with Panthers as well. Dolphins Falcons.
Falcons.
This is starting off well. I don't think Dolphins have enough to be able to stop the defense of
Jay Cutler.
Matty Ice.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay Cutler. Then again,
We're not going to talk about their coach. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, their O-line coach resigned.
Yeah,
snorting a powdery substance on camera.
This is for you.
Yeah, getting his inner Tony Montana on.
Didn't he also say you're gonna keep the baby?
Yeah, he watched too much Scarface.
My man said Tony Montana.
Goodness, Tony Montana. All right, let me stop. Man. Oh,
Goodness.
And the Dolphins, when it first came out, what did the Dolphins say? We're not gonna make.
We're not gonna make a comment.
We
have no comment at this time.
Their whole organization is embarrassed. Now, I see memes all over the internet, guys. You don't understand.
All right, next game, man. Next game.
All right, so Bears Ravens. Ravens.
Yes.
I see that too. Man, we're all agreeing.
Yeah,
so far.
I don't like this.
3 games in a row.
I don't like this.
Browns Texans.
Texans.
JJ Watt merciless
Texans.
out.
I'm playing with you guys. Texans.
Browns 0-5.
Texans.
You're not telling me Browns.
No.
Unless they're playing the Jets, but
See how that turned
Jets are
out.
gonna win. In any matchup. Packers Vikings.
See, I made a hard decision on this, guys.
I'm gonna go with the Pack.
I'm throwing the Vikings in.
That's a good one.
I'm throwing
I'm
the
gonna go with
Vikings.
the Pack, man.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go with the Pack.
Vikings
Either
on the
way,
road.
you're not really, risking a lot.
You're not. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. Why not? Why go against Aaron Rodgers? He just proved me wrong against Dallas, so I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has successful.
Darren.
Yeah, Darren. I'm
You
tripping.
good?
Aaron Rodgers so successful in Dallas. That's why I went with him. So he have he lost yet? Has he?
And where's this game at? Is this in Lambeau?
Nope.
No, I believe this one is in Minnesota.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Minnesota.
Those Packers fans
Oh,
travel, so
Minnesota.
it's gonna seem like it's Lambeau. Minnesota and Green Bay's right there.
Shout out to Lil Yachty for the song.
I think I skipped a few days on my ESPN app. Oop, now I'm skipping a lot of days.
I got you.
I am going to go Packers, though, because I believe Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league, personally, and I'm not going to go against that. So I think he gets the dub. I think he runs the table. Lions Saints. AP's out.
Lions.
He's with the Arizona Cardinals.
Lions.
Give me Detroit.
Alvin Kamara
Detroit stand up.
is going to have to step up.
Detroit stand up.
Detroit stand up.
Hopefully Eminem's in the building.
See, I don't know, because then you were just talking about number 3 QB in the league being Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Do you think Drew Brees is gonna throw over the line?
He chuckled.
Ha 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 ha. No, I'm still going with the Lions.
You going Lions?
Yeah.
Man, this is tough. I want to pick Saints.
What's stopping you?
Hey, what's CA?
I really want to pick Saints.
Be the upset guy.
Yeah, be that guy.
I'm gonna be that guy.
Be that guy.
All right, Saints.
You know,
Even though they got a young offense,
Saints go
young
marching
defense.
in. I think they're
and,
gonna take this one.
Lions
When
gonna-
the Saints
Yeah.
come marching in.
Saints
Get it.
go marching home.
Oh, I thought you were going with it. Never mind.
When the Saints come marching. I would, but we don't got a lot of time.
Next.
Not gonna do it to
We got
y'all.
about 5 minutes, so we're gonna go straight into Patriots Jets. Now that's a good one. Think about this one for a little bit. Jets doing pretty well.
I'm taking the Pats.
Patriots
Huh.
are the Patriots.
I was asleep, my bad.
Brady.
I'm going with the Brady bunch.
Brady bunch. Me too. You don't just bet against Brady.
You don't.
Against the Jets.
You don't.
49ers Redskins.
Skins.
Red skins.
I think 49ers go 0-6 personally. So Redskins.
Mhm.
Buccaneers Cardinals.
Buccaneers.
Definitely the Buccaneers.
Man, this is gonna be a one or two game difference between us because we're all
Right.
thinking the same thing here. Rams Jaguars. Now let's get this straight.
Jaguars.
Ooh, this
Rams
is- I'm
have
going-
been doing pretty good, and you picked the Rams earlier in the year
Yeah.
when we all picked differently, and you got it right.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with.
I'm going with Jaguars.
And Jaguars have been running the table
Leonard Fournette.
unless they're playing Tennessee.
Black Bortles.
I'm gonna go with. Let me jot down. Who am I gonna go
This is
with?
a tough one.
I'm going with the Jags. Defense.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm gonna go-
Girly have a day.
I'm gonna have to go
On
with
they
the Jags.
defense?
Girly have a day.
I'm gonna have to go with the Jags. That's
Dude, the Titans played the same defense before, man. They're not. I
I
mean, they're
mean,
great, but
You see how the
It's
Jags
also the-
showed up against Pittsburgh?
the Rams.
Pittsburgh has
also,
also been struggling.
the
Like,
Rams also have a pretty
Yeah.
decent defense.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
who
Aaron
you going
Donald,
with?
best defensive.
I'm
lineman
going
in the league.
Rams.
I'm going Jags.
Jags.
I gotta go Jags.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Chargers and Raiders.
Chargers, Raiders.
Let me go with Marshawn.
Men in black.
Marshawn's finna come out.
When does Derek Carr come back?
He's out for
Weeks.
Yeah,
Thought so.
that was for.
So
I think.
They got- look,
I don't
Emmanuel-
know. That's a good
That's what
one
I'm saying.
because the Chargers,
Chargers
just played a
just-
pretty good game.
exactly.
Who they played recently? I had them winning though, but who did they?
Giants.
Then again, Giants are now 0-5 because of them, and now they're playing a Raiders team.
Man,
who
I
has
got
a
Chargers
good
for the. I
offense.
got Chargers for the upset, man. Give me Chargers for the
Chargers?
upset. For the upset.
I'll take the Raiders. I'm stick with the Raiders.
I'm gonna actually go with Emmitt here. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
That's fine.
I think they have some momentum
I like to be on my own island
going
anyway.
into that game.
Bobby Island.
Coming off that win, I know it's against
Horton
I know
Island.
against
Horton
the Giants,
Island, there
but
you go.
still, the Giants are still a tough team, even though their record doesn't show it. They're still a tough defense
Indeed.
to be able to score on. So, Steelers, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I don't think there's any doubt about that one.
Kareem Hunt might get
Uh,
200.
You have
Oh my.
the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, throwing 5 interceptions. I mean, you could say he's going to bounce back big, but I think,
Nah,
Ben, you're getting old, brother.
He's gonna throw 4 this time.
There's a reason they drafted a QB in Josh Dobbs, and I think that's because you're about to get replaced. So, Chiefs, all day. So, Giants, Broncos, I don't think there's going to be any doubt here. 1, 2, 3.
I'm actually gonna go with the
Broncos?
Giants. I'm kidding, bro. Broncos. That was such a lot.
Don't look at me. Y'all already
What's
know.
up, Mr. Island?
Y'all already done said my name. I mean, I already done said the team.
Broncos.
Broncos. No questions asked.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, here we go. Prime time. Prime time.
Gotta go with my Titans, bro.
Prime time.
Especially Mariota comes back. It's a dub.
If Mariota comes back,
Nah, nope.
I think
Because
it's a
y'all
dub.
made me decide
Titans.
all last time.
Forget
if
it.
it's 'cause
Titans.
I was like, if Sam
Titans.
Bradford. Y'all was like, nah. If the quarterback comes back, you got to make a legit.
We're not gonna
answer.
lose 2
Okay,
division
fair
games.
enough, fair
Titans. I'm going Titans.
I think even with Matt Castle,
I gotta
go-
Titans take
I
it.
gotta go against the home team. No, I'm playing. I'm going to the Titans.
I'd say you're so
you're a Titans fan.
disrespectful.
Okay. So fair enough. I think we all got it here. So yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
We don't vary very much from on the picks this week.
is
So
kinda
we'll see what
weird.
happens. What's the
Not
bet
used to
this
this.
week? Before we go, what's
We gotta pick a game that we disagree on.
What are we betting on? We got
Rams,
about
Jaguars?
30 seconds
Who's it,
Rams, Jaguars?
to make it.
I thought it was Vikings and
Do you want to do Packers
Hold on.
Vikings again? Packers. That's a
Packers
close
and
one.
Vikings.
You gonna do that one?
But what you said, Rams and what What is it? Rams and Jaguars. That is. Okay.
Rams, Jaguars, or Packers, Vikings.
I don't care. We'll pick one.
Who picked who?
I picked the Jaguars.
Let's do
he
Packers.
Picked the Jaguars.
Let's do Packers Vikings. I think that's a better.
Yeah.
I got Green Bay.
I think that's a better matchup.
I got
so
Green Bay.
anyway,
Who you got?
I had Green Bay. I want to thank again WAPX Clarksville's 91.9 for allowing us to use their studios, as well as Emmitt Thomas, Bobby Horton.
Kudos.
Thank you so
I'm Aaron
much.
King.
Kudos to Doc V.
We've been Real Talk, and we're out of here.